Hey everybody, you're back with Sl6241. No, this is not a Let's Play video. I decided to do something a little different for today. I got a new webcam, wanted to try it out. So what better way to do that than just do a quick little video here, focused on something I get asked a lot about from time to time, or at least gets discussed around me from time to time. Today we're going to focus on 15 things total, but 5 things apiece. 5 good, 5 bad, and 5 things I'm kind of cautiously optimistic for that's happened to the gaming industry within the last year. So we might as well go ahead and start off with the good. Keep in mind these are my opinions, so no one paid me to say these. It's just kind of how I feel about a few things. So like I said, let's go ahead and start off with the good. So 5 good things. Number 5, Nintendo's revival. For a while there, it looked like Nintendo might not quite make it, which would be really bad, because whether or not you like them, if it wasn't for Nintendo, gaming wouldn't be where it's at today, plain and simple. But with the release of Mario Kart 8, stuff started to kind of turn around for him. We had Smash Brothers coming out. He just got a new 3DS coming out. All the stupid little amiibos that are out there right now. Nintendo looks like they're at least in pretty decent shape for the time being. That's a good thing, because a lot of my favorite characters, you can tell back here, big Zelda guy, and you should know that probably already. But it looks promising that Nintendo could be kind of out of the doghouse, at least for now. Right, number 4. The integration of portable gaming systems. Now, this is something, Nintendo's had the market on. I know this is not, oh my god, Nintendo's the greatest thing ever. But, Nintendo's pretty much held the market on handhelds since 1989 with the release of the original Game Boy. Sega tried to copy that with the Game Gear. Yeah, it was color, but it ate batteries in like 30 minutes and didn't quite last near as long as what the Game Boy would. But with that being said, I like what Nintendo and Sony are doing currently. They are taking their handheld systems and integrating it and letting them interact with their home consoles. That is awesome. Anytime you can kind of get nice cohesion happening, it's usually a good thing. And I like what Nintendo's doing. Honestly, I feel as though PlayStation, Sony has probably beaten them on this a little bit, because you can actually, use your Vita to play stuff on your PS4. So I think Sony's gonna beat there a little bit. I would say something about Microsoft's handheld, but yeah. Alright, number 3. The third best thing that happened to gaming in the last year, in my opinion, is Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh my god, we finally got a game that didn't require you to get downloadable content. They gave us the full game. They went back to basics, promised us about 200 hours of gameplay, and they delivered on it. Now, I'm not saying there weren't a few things, maybe I would change a little bit with Inquisition, but EA gave us what they promised. We got a complete game and didn't need downloadable content. Over 200 hours. I honestly wish more games would follow this idea and go back to how it used to be. Most of the stuff's already there on the disc. You just have to pay 15 to 20 bucks for that little unlock piece of programming, and it unlocks the rest of it. That is bull. Alright, number 2. Hyrule Warriors. If you have not played this game yet, do so. If you don't have a Wii U, honestly, it's worth buying a Wii U just to play this one game. If you've ever played Dynasty Warriors, you've played this, except it's set in Hyrule, 1. And 2, you get to play with a whole bunch of Zelda characters. I haven't had this much fun playing a game in a long time. Just, the gameplay is very fluid. The story is intriguing, even though, yes, they try to kind of do it. Oh man, who's Sheik? We don't know. We don't know who Sheik is. Yeah, if you've played Ocarina, you know exactly who Sheik is. Hell, if you've played Brawl or Melee, you know exactly who Sheik is. So that was the one part that's kind of but it's fun. And up to 2 players can play it. It's still fun. It doesn't matter. Yes, it's a hack and slash, but it's a fun hack and slash. It really kind of lets you see the plight of Hyrule when Ganon kind of rises and brings up the armies with him. And it's just really good. It's very well done. And if, like I said, if you haven't done so, play it. If you don't want to buy a Wii U, go rent one somewhere. There's still a few places, at least where I live, that rent videos and stuff. Or, you know, friend, cousin, somebody has to you know somebody that has a Wii U. I guarantee it. If not, save up some money, get your Wii U, get your Hyrule Warriors. Alright, the number one best thing that has happened to the gaming industry in the past year, in my opinion, is esports. In case you didn't know, the League of Legends World Championship last year had more viewers than the Super Bowl. That is awesome for gaming. It gives us a lot of exposure. You know, they're selling out like basically Dallas Cowboys football stadium just to watch people play League of Legends. And those tickets weren't cheap. The cheapest ones were a couple $100 a pop. So, you know, people are really getting into this, and I think it's a little long overdue. So, with that happening, right now the possibilities for gaming is kind of endless. All right. Those are the good. Now, let's do the bad. Now, keep in mind, these, once again, are my opinions. They're not necessarily any truth or not truth to them. But let's go. I know Nintendo was mentioned a lot in the good side because, like I said, I was excited to see the revival, or what I'm calling the revival of Nintendo. Now, number 5 on the bad side, Nintendo availability. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to get a limited edition Nintendo product, or even find a damn amiibo that's not Mario. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. You know, Nintendo is notorious for under-releasing stuff, at least here in the United States, to kind of get a false sense of demand. And especially with their limited edition stuff, and they're even like, okay, perfect example. This isn't even limited edition. The Majora's Mask 3DS, just the game itself is nearly impossible to find. Why? It makes no sense. Nintendo is robbing themselves of money, and they are robbing their customer base. Many of us have been true to them for years. And they're just like, I don't care. Just flying us their giant Nintendo middle finger, pretty much. Yeah, like I said, have you tried to find an amiibo? Go ahead. Try. It's not easy. At least not one that's not the flagship characters. Try to go find a Mega Man. Try to find a Sonic. You know, try to find a Meta Knight. Try to find any of these ones that aren't their main flagship. Like I said, good luck. It's bull, and they just need to print them. People would buy them because people want them. So why underprint them? All they're doing is forcing people that go and instead of spending $13 and Nintendo gets the money for it, they have to go to Amazon or eBay and spend upwards of $100 on one of these figures because Nintendo won't print enough. It's getting old, Nintendo. I know you're never going to listen to this, but if you do, stop treating us like this. Alright, number 4. On the bad side. Honestly, number 4 on the bad side, the next-gen consoles. They have been a complete and total letdown. At least for me so far. They promised us all this cool, shiny stuff. The only problem is, oh yeah, it's cool and shiny, but what do I have to play on it? In short, really nothing I can't go get on either computer or Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. There's no reason to have one. I was duped, like many people were, and they rushed out and got the next-gen console because we were promised so much. You know what my $500 next-gen console does? Collects dust, or it's used to stream Twitch if I'm in the front room. That's it. It's really kind of hard to tell anybody to go out and buy a next-gen console when honestly, they're almost making them obsolete by themselves. It's not even Steam doing it. Right now, if someone was to ask me, well, what next-gen console should I get? I'd either tell them, A, the Wii U, because the games on it are actually entertaining to play, or 2, none. Go build you a PC. Steam's a lot cheaper than buying the games, and you get more support. There's more stuff to play on PC. And that kind of pains me to say it. I've always loved consoles because I didn't have to constantly upgrade them all the time. But, you know, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they're pointless to have right now. They're kind of, you know, hunks of junk. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're good machines, just there's nothing to play. There's no reason to have them. You know, I really would like my $500 back, but oh well, I guess I'll eventually get something. Alright, number 3. Kind of moving right in line with the next-gen consoles. Number 3, the glitchy and buggy-ass games that are released. Prime example of this is go look up the Assassin's Creed Unity, the newest one that just got released, where the glitches are in the game upon release, where people, you know, don't have a face, it's just eyes and mouth and teeth floating there in space. But that's what a lot of people like to use. That's not the only one doing it. So many of these games are released bugged out to where you can't play them at all. It's ridiculous. Why are we spending money on this garbage? No, we're rushing out and pre-ordering this stuff, and there's no need for it. The only thing you really even need to pre-order is like a Nintendo game, because Nintendo doesn't release garbage. They make sure all the bugs are fixed before it gets into the consumer's hands. You know, something else I like to point out here, like the Master Chief Collection, if you have an Xbox One, that's the one I got because I sat down, looked at it. Machines are identical enough. It came down for me, who has the exclusives that I want to play? Do I want to play like Nathan Drake and the Uncharted series and stuff like that, or do I want to play Gears of War and Halo? I like Cortana and the Master Chief more than I do Nathan Drake and all them, so I bought it an Xbox One. I was like, oh man, look at this Master Chief collection, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, sure, I got it. It took, with the Xbox One, you have to install your game to a certain point before you can play it. And PlayStation 4, I believe, is the same way. With Master Chief Collection, I got home, started to install it. 8.5 hours later, I still had 10% left to go. And for some reason, the last 10%, there's something important in there where if it's not installed, you can't play the game. Yeah, hooray. Not only that, but everything, once it is installed, was so glitchy. You can't use the party system. You can't hardly find a game online to play if you wanted to play online multiplayer. Hell, half the time, the servers and crap are so bad, you can't even play single player. Once again, you know, shame on me for keep giving my money to these companies that keep releasing this garbage. But I thought for sure, now surely, this is Microsoft's Mario. They're not going to release a steaming pile. I was wrong. That pains me to say it. Fix your garbage. Quit giving us Swiss cheese when we have paid for a complete thing. Quit giving us some piece of garbage with holes in it. Fix the bugs. Even if you have to delay it by like 2 weeks. Fix the bugs. People will be happier with it being delayed 2 weeks to a month and get the game bug-free than getting it on time, but you can't play it for 3-4 months because of all the bugs. Alright, number 2, number 1. We're almost interchangeable. I sat down and looked at it, and if number 2 hadn't been copied so much, it probably would have been number 1. Or if number 1 would have actually delivered what was promised, it wouldn't be on this list. But number 2 for me is Titanfall. This game was hyped. And it's like, oh man, look at this. This looks cool. I can be on, you know, foot, go killing stuff. I can call down this giant mech. I can jump in the mech and be a total badass. Yeah, there's one problem with that. Besides, for me, I like an actual story mode that I can play and then go into multiplayer. This game, story mode, it's Phantom. There's what story? What story? Please, story. Not there. And even the story was online. It required you to play with other people. It was garbage. And number 2, Oh yeah, I'll play, you know, online multiplayer. Ka-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Ka-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Oh look, I got my mech. I'm gonna get my mech. Everybody run towards the mech, jumps up on the mech's back, rips off this hatch, puts, you know, pow, 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 the mech blows up. I'm sorry, but once you actually summon down a Titan, the mechs in the game, you ought to be nay and unstoppable, nay invincible. Not the case. Instead of running away from the mech, everybody runs towards the mech and blows it up within 30 seconds of it hitting the ground. So you want to know what I did when I still had that piece of garbage game? I'd call in the mech, boom, and set it to auto mode. And then I would shoot the people as they were running towards it. The game was garbage. The reason it got number 2 is because I guess it was innovative enough that a lot of things are copying it, like Call of Duty, stuff like that, are copying it for a lot of their multiplayer. So, okay, you brought something kind of new to the situation with the parkour-ish type stuff and the running up the walls, the jetpacks. I'll put you at number 2. Because number 1, oh, man, number 1 was quite possibly the biggest letdown of 2014. This game had been hyped beyond everything. And it was going to be done by Bungie. And Bungie, as we all know, can write a good story. They give us characters we give a damn about. You know, Master Chief, Cortana, the Arbiter. There's a story. There is an in-depth, you care about these characters. So they're bringing out this new game, and it promises to be amazing. And what it gives us is such a steaming pile of dog crap on a cold winter day. Now, some of you guys already know what I'm talking about. And right now, I've either got people going, yeah! Or people going, no, no, you're wrong. Destiny is number 1. I'm sorry, but it's Destiny. Now, there are people, it's like, well, you know, the game, it's not necessarily about the game. It's, you know, the people you play it with. I'm sorry. As much as that might be the case, if I'm buying a game and I'm promised a story, I'm buying a game, regardless of whether or not I'm playing it online with my friends, for the story. If I just want to play something with my friends without a story, I can go play poker or blackjack. There is no story. And I wanted to love this game. I was promised so much. The Dinklebot. Every damn mission in the game is defend Dinklebot. Every one. If you don't believe me, go watch some videos. I know I'm not the only one ranting about this pile of garbage. It's literally protect Dinklebot. For the story. Oh, that is such a disjointed and so full of holes. It makes the prequel trilogy for Star Wars looks like it should have won an Academy Award. That is how terrible this game was. Now, let me show you guys a little something here. Hold on, it's going to look a little dizzy. Alright, you see these guys? I love me some Halo. The story was amazing. You cared about the characters. Cortana and Chief are one of the greatest duos since Batman and Robin. This was all done by Bungie. By all means, by all purposes, Destiny should have made this look like the original Mario Brothers on NES. Destiny promised bigger, better, greater things. And oh my God, if I wasn't lied to, I haven't been that lied to since episode 1. That's how bad... Sorry guys, let me fix the camera a little bit. That's how bad and betrayed this game is. I busted my ass and found one of the $100 digital, or not, wasn't even the digital one, the $100 whatever edition that came with the DLCs and all this other stuff. It is garbage. If Destiny would have actually given us, Bungie would have given us what they promised with Destiny, and the way a lot of the beta and everything looked, I wouldn't be bitching about it right now. But they didn't. You know, they promised us prime rib and gave us Taco Bell. Why? Of course, why do they care? people gave him the money because, oh my God, it's Bungie. That makes perfect sense. Here, take my money. Shut up and take my money. You're Bungie. You did Halo. This is going to be good because we know you can do Halo. And it wasn't. It's like they just robbed us all. They might as well just robbed us all at gunpoint. That game was such a pile that honestly, I don't... Yeah, I've got the DLC. I haven't touched it. I played it for maybe 2 weeks and haven't touched it. There's so much wrong with this game. If I was to sit here and rant about it, this would be an hour long. So I'm not going to do it. Just shame on you, Bungie. Shame on you. Okay, so 5 things. We're on to the last category. 5 things that I'm kind of cautiously optimistic for. Things that could be good for 2015. But we're not quite sure yet. Now, number 5 coming in. Number 5 is Batman Arkham Knight. We may finally have a reason to have a next-gen console. The gameplay, the trailers look amazing. But then again, so did the Destiny and the Titanfall ones. And we got a load of garbage with those. Now, I don't think Rocksteady would do this to their Arkham series, because they have been solid, and I'm not talking about Origins, because Origins wasn't done by Rocksteady. I'm talking Asylum City were magnificent games. They kind of redefined the genre, much like Half-Life did, much like Halo did. These games kind of redefined that genre of games. The stories were amazing, you cared about stuff, and everything was just beautiful in it. I'm hoping that's going to be the same with Arkham Knight. The only reason I'm a little more cautiously optimistic about it is because we get the Batmobile now. So why would I want to be out on my feet when I can just sit in the Batmobile and blow everything to Kingdom Come? So hopefully your use of the Batmobile in Arkham Knight is limited to a few scenes and just doesn't overtake the entirety of the game and makes it just, you know, tank game, but in the Batmobile instead of a tank. Number 4 is Halo 5. Like I said, I love me some Halo. You guys saw some of my Halo stuff. It's not even all of it. That's just some of it. That's a little smidgen of it. The Master Chief helmet's actually signed by Master Chief's voice actor. But we have been so let down and promised so much anymore. Halo 5, I'm just kind of like, this might be the first Halo game I don't buy at launch. I might wait to buy it just to see how buggy this piece it's going to be, because Master Chief Collection should have been, they should be paying me, you know, the $40, $50, $60 just to take the game and not the other way around. So I'm hoping they got their act together with Halo 5 and they're going to deliver quality. And like I said earlier, not a piece of Swiss cheese. If that happens, I just so bad. Now, number 3, I had planned to film this a little earlier. I'm still going to leave number 3 here, even though it released last week or 2 weeks ago. And that was Evolve. I was in the alpha and the beta for Evolve, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being the monster and just wailing on everything. That was actually legitimately fun. But then again, you know, that's the alpha and the beta, and you get to play like 1 or 2 maps, so they're going to make damn sure that those maps are up to par. Now, I have not played it since it released because I played the alpha and beta so much. I wasn't quite sure what the game could actually offer me at $60. I will pick it up, but I'll wait till it drops to like 30 or 40 and get it then. It does look like there's some single-player offline mode, so you don't have to play against people. Looks like there's maybe a decent story. So, yeah, like I said, I haven't played that yet. If you have, please feel free to kind of comment on it here below in the comment section. Kind of let me know, is it actually worth it? Is it a good game to play, or is it another, you know, piece of garbage that got released way too soon? Now, number 2. Star Wars Battlefront. That is due out this year towards, I think it's like November. About 9 months from now, because, or no, I guess it would be 9, I guess it would be 8 months from now, roughly. 8, 9 months from now. Whichever. Math, English. But that's due out right before the Episode 7 release, and I really like my Star Wars too, if you couldn't tell that. I'm just here. I'll show you this. See? Star Wars. Star Wars. Star Wars. There's lots of Star Wars. I'm also a 501st member, so, you know, Star Wars, kind of my thing. I kind of live Star Wars, more or less. But, you know, I have great hopes for this game. I loved 1 and 2, especially 2, and I still play that game to this day, believe it or not, because it runs on my 360, so I just play the crap out of it whenever I want to. I'm hoping they can deliver something that's just as good as 2. It should be better. I'm hoping everything will be more epic. Everything I've seen so far where they've went like on location, where they actually filmed the scenes on Endor, and they've went to all these different locations and locales and taken pictures and stuff like that. It looks like they're doing their homework. It looks like they're treating this the way they should. I'm hoping that they do. I mean, I've enjoyed, well, at least Battlefront 1 and 2. Or, sorry, not Battlefront, Battlefield 1 and 2. It's made by DICE, so I'm hoping they're putting a lot into the Star Wars one. It's not going to have the issues like 4 did for not, you know, kicking people out of the servers and stuff. That's why I'm kind of, I hope it's great. I will probably get that one at launch just because I know there's really nothing else I can say about it. Just please don't screw that one up. All right. Number one thing I'm cautiously optimistic for. You ready? Bam. Zelda on the Wii U. Now, like I said, I know Nintendo is up here a lot. Sorry. Big Zelda fan. I mean, the room's painted for my Zelda stuff, so it matches better. From what we've seen so far, it looked great. You know, like, oh, look, Epona doesn't run into trees, and she avoids them like a real horse would, and this and that. It looks awesome. And it's Nintendo, so it should be awesome. The reason I'm kind of cautious about it, though, is they've promised stuff, like, larger than Skyrim. I was reading a report the other day that they were saying that the entirety of the Twilight Princess map fits into just one area of the map for Zelda Wii U. Now, Nintendo's really never done a game of this caliber before, and by caliber I'm not saying, no, well, no, they've done Zeldas before. No, I'm saying they've not done a game this big, that massive before. They haven't done it, and I'm hoping they don't overdo it. You know, Bethesda's done it before, so when they do a game that's that big, I'm not like, well, I don't know if they can do it. Nintendo hasn't. Everything they've done has always been kind of on a smaller map. So I'm really hoping they kind of nail it with this one. They're basically promising us Skyrim, but with Link. If they can do that, oh my god, that'll be amazing. And I have faith in Nintendo, because like I said, they don't release garbage, they'll put it off, you know, a little bit until they get all the bugs figured out and everything. But I hope they're not, you know, in the deep end and can't swim. I hope they're not up over their head. I'm really hoping they nail this, because that would be amazing. Alright, that's all I've got for now. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. You can find me here. You can comment below. Contact me on here. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Sl6241. And from time to time, I do stream on Twitch while I'm playing usually League of Legends. So you can find me on twitch.tv/Sl6241. And remember, guys, I can quit anytime I want. But where is the fun in that? Goodbye, everyone.